coordinator. Come on now.
Hey, thank you. Good morning, movers and shakers. So, years ago, many years ago, my father had a Mont Blanc pen, and I heard him say that this was a $100 pen. And I remember thinking, wow, $100 for a pen? Who would spend $100 on a pen? And then years later, I worked in an executive suite in an office building on a floor with a lot of other professionals. And I was meeting with this attorney, this older gentleman, and he had probably 6 or 7 of these Mont Blanc pens in pencil holders on his desk. There they all were. And at the time, I was wanting one of these pens. And I asked him, I said, hey, could I buy one of these pens from you used? And he said, well, sure. So he said, let's look. He goes, take a look at this one and see what you think. And he said, do you like it? And I said, yeah, I like the pen. He goes, okay. He goes, there you go. And I said, okay, well, how much do you want for the pen? And he says, no, you can keep it. And I said, really? I said, are you sure? He says, yeah, just keep it. And I said, well, wow, well, thank you. So how did you get all these pens? He goes, well, you know, people give them to me as gifts. And I loved that pen, and I used to carry it everywhere. And I'd walk back and forth across the floors of that office building, and I would clip the pen in my pants, and I would take it out, and I would write with it, and I would carry it, and I would drop it, and I would pick it up, and I would lay it on the desk, and, you know, the hard desk, I would lay it there, and I would drop the pen a lot. And one day the pen got cracked, and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do about this? And I took some super glue and I glued the pen, and I kept using the pen. And I kept putting it in my pants and taking it out and writing with it and putting the cap on the back of the pen. And I kept dropping the pen. And then one day I cracked the pen again. And I wasn't really liking the way the pen cap was looking, because when you put super glue on a black pen, it makes kind of a, you see, even after it dries, you see the white streak where the super glue was. So I found out that you could take the pen to the Mont Blanc store and they might be able to repair it. And so I took it to the Mont Blanc store, and they said, yes, we can repair the pen for $80. We can replace the whole cap for you. And I thought, well, you know, $80. And I'm like, well, you know, it is a $100 pen, and I did get it for free, and I really like the pen. So I paid them, and they gave me a whole new cap to the pen. And then I kept using the pen in the same way that I had been using the pen. And I kept carrying it and putting the cap on the back and putting it on the hard desk and putting it in my pocket and taking it out and dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. And it broke again, and I glued it again, and it didn't look good. And finally I got sick of the way that pen looked, and I put it in a desk drawer with a bunch of other pens scraping against the other pens, and I left it in that drawer for years, maybe even a decade. And one day I was signing up a new client, and I handed her a cheap plastic impact pest elimination pen that had been bent. Somebody had bent the cap, and I handed it to her so that she could sign the paperwork. And she said, you know, I'm entrusting my life savings to you, and this is the pen that you give me? And we got to laughing about the fact that I had given her this pen that somebody had abused. And I got to thinking about it again, and I thought, you know, I mean, the way I dress is important, and maybe I need to be careful about the pens that I'm using in front of my clients. And I went and I found the pen in the drawer, the Mont Blanc pen. And I got a new interest in the pen. And I thought, you know, I think maybe I should go get this repaired again and see what I can do with it. And somewhere along the way, I looked up the pen to find out what these things are selling for. And at that time, I was shocked to learn that these pens now sell for $450. In fact, I looked it up this morning on the way here, and it's $510. And I thought, wow, you know, who would pay this for a pen. And I go in there to the Mont Blanc store, and I forget the price. I think they said $90, and they said, we'll fix the pen or whatever. And I thought, sure, yeah, let me spend that money. I mean, so they ended up replacing just about everything on this pen. And I basically got a brand new pen. But I treat the pen a lot differently today. I bought a leather case from them to protect the pen, to snap it closed. I don't lay it on the hard desk anymore. You know, my dad said these things are made out of porcelain, which is basically glass. I don't lay it on the hard desk anymore where it might get scratched. I don't put the cap on the back where it might scratch the pen. I don't carry it back and forth. I don't put it in my pocket. I keep it in the case. I take it out when I want to use it. I use it. I treat it differently because one day I decided to place a different value on the pen. It's the same pen. It costs the same money. I decided to place a different value on this pen. And I decided to start caring for the pen and maintaining the pen because I want to keep it nice. But what about this room? What about this group? What is the value in this room? Do we even recognize the value that is in this room? Do we even understand how much business we could be getting from this room? Do we understand how hard it has been for members to even get into this room? That some members have had to compete against 4 people or even 8 people in their profession to even be allowed into this room. Do we understand that people have applied for membership to this group and have been told no? Many people have applied for membership to be in this room and they've been told no over the years because of their background, or maybe they didn't have enough experience. Do we really understand the value in this room? And could we decide today to start placing a real value on our membership here? And if we did place that value here, then how might we handle things differently? Wouldn't we start doing a lot more one-to-ones with people? Getting together face to face. Let's have lunch. Let's have coffee. Let me be on the phone with my fellow members throughout the week. Wouldn't we start wanting to invite people to the room so that we could have a bigger audience to hear our commercial? Hey, can I help you grow your business? Do you need help? Wouldn't we want to start going out to community events? If we don't have 100 people walking into the doors of our office every day, wouldn't we want to start going out then and going to community events, breakfasts, other networking groups, places where we could start listening to people's needs, the help that they need, so that we can then find the people to refer to our group members, or find the people that need to grow their business and invite them to the group. What if we started valuing this group the way that I finally started valuing that pen? What would the possibilities be? This has been your educational moment. Brian Wade, Tampa Financial Group.